How are we doing, everyone? Hope you're well, and thank you for joining me for another video. This is following on from one I've made this morning at the local day ticket, and in this one we're going to be doing bright coloured singles in the spring. So what I've done is I've actually moved from where I made the last video, so if you watched that you'll know, and if you didn't you won't. And we're going to have a little wander and see where we're going to make this video. So as I mentioned, we have moved. This morning I've made one over there on the concrete bank. Successful video, but not successful as I'd have liked. And I've come round to what I call the awkward swim now, because it is very, very steep. Hoping I can sort of get up here and sort of have this section of the lake to myself, but there's now two people stood the opposite side of the lake looking at the exact same body of water I'm looking at, because the lake's really, really busy today, you know. It's there's at least 10 anglers on this lake at the moment before I get my rods back out of the van. So I can see that they're getting kit out and setting up as well, so they're planning to both fish up here. So that's another two coming up here, so that's three up over that side. I don't know what to do. I'm a bit stumped. On the start of this video, if I'm being honest with you, I'm a bit stumped because I've been used to having this place sort of to myself, or very, very quiet. Now it's Wednesday. It's like not even 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's already very, very busy. There's actually 3 anglers on the long lake as well, which is the most I've seen on there for months. So I don't know what to do, but I think what maybe we should do is for the first half of the video, because we're going to have 2 hours on this fishing bright singles, I think we'll come in here, we'll drop in here for an hour, and then we'll make a decision whether we do the second hour on the long lake, because if we've not had one out of here within an hour, then we're probably not going to, are we? So yeah, I think we'll do that. I'll get some kits set up and I'll bring you back, show you what we're doing, and let's see how this one goes. So I'm all set up in the swim now with the minimum amount of kit I can get away with, you know. It's I don't know how long we're staying here, so I don't want to get everything out of the van, and it is a sort of walk to the swim job, and I've not got a barra. So we've got 3 rods and 3 buzzers, 2 nets, unlocking mat, carp care kit in a little water tub, power pack for the phone, temperature gauge for the water, which I've learnt how to use now, the camera stand, absolute essential coffee, receiver, scissors in case I need to trim these pop-ups down, and we've got 3 rigs, that's all. Nothing else. There's no other tools, etc. And I've got the hook baits we're going to be using. I'm going to take you through the rod setup now in case this is your first video. Most of you know it off by heart now, but there will be people who don't. So it's 15 pound KORDA subline in green, down to a length for the KORDA duck mat tungsten tubing, the little KORDA run sleeve, size 8 quick change swivel, and a 3-ounce gripper lead. Ignore the lead on this one, okay? I know most people in the way that they would fish wouldn't be using a gripper lead. I'm not going to be pasting the lead this time either, because again, fishing singles, you are fishing a single hook bait, you know, no other attractant or nothing. So I'm not doing that. So that's going to be a little bit alien to me, but it is what it is. And I know most people would have like a 3-ounce distance lead on, because that's the common lead these days, or the most popular it seems. I just didn't swap the leads around. It isn't going to affect the outcome of this video at all, you know. If there's fish here and we get one, we're going to get one. If they're not here, we're not. It's as simple as that. So let me take you through the rig, because the viewer has requested, can you just fish 3 bright singles on a rig of your choice, well, basically in a swim and lake of my choice. So that's what we're going to do. So what I've come up with is the Ronnie rig, because it's not my most favourite rig, but it still is a lot of people's sort of go-to rig these days. So we're going to be fishing 3 Ronnies. I've got a length of 20 pound KORDA IQ2 fluorocarbon hook link. That's the softer one they do. And on the knot that I've made, well, I've put a big loop in it for the Ronnie to sit on. The knot, you'll see I've got one of the big bank tackle tungsten sinkers. That's purely because that one is a proper jobs pop-up. Don't know, that's a Northern Special pop-up. I've not really used them much, so I don't know how buoyant they are. And this orange one, I believe I can remember it's called an ester blend, but I don't know who even makes it. Come in a job lot, same as basically all these lot come in a job lot. But these are the only sort of bright pop-ups that I've got that I can sort of match the sizes together. So that's a 14, that's a 14, that's a 13. It's not really much deviation in size, you can see. All 3 rigs are identical. They're all 3 are on Ronnies, all on pop-ups, all the same boom, tungsten sinker, the lot. So they're all pretty much, I don't know if I drag them around and blunt the hooks a bit bloody more on the floor, they're all pretty much identical length as well, you know. Everything's identical except the hook baits. They're just different colours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook them on the rods now, just test them in the edge, make sure they all sink nice. And we're just going to flick them around. Okay, we're going to have 2 hours from the moment the third rod's in. And every sort of like half an hour, I'm just going to wind them in and flick them somewhere different, you know. Just keep moving them around. If we've been in here for an hour and nothing's happened, I've not seen anything, I don't think there's any fish here, we could well move on to the other long lake, because this main lake is absolutely rammed, you know, and this just doesn't fish with loads of people on. So we'll give it the first hour in here and we'll just see what happens. But for now, I'm going to get you on the camera stand, get some rigs hooked on, test them in the edge, and we'll get them out there. So we're going to start with the right hand rod. That's going to be the pink Proper Jobs pop-up. I can't remember the flavour. It's a Turkish Delight flavour. That's all I can describe it as. And it does take that bank tackle, their biggest sinker, to hold it down on a Ronnie, and it only just sinks. Something I should point out is the other end's got a big figure of 8 loop knot, and that's the old tungsten anti-tangle sleeve, so that will kick it all away, and the fluoro will just knock the hook link away from the lead. So it's anti-tangle, and it's pretty much reset as well. So it's a pretty effective way to fish a single, providing you get a drop. In silt I wouldn't advise it, but where we're fishing here it's fairly firm. So let's get the rods out and see what happens. Time to get the next rod out. We're going to go with the left hand rod now. That's got the yellow 14mm Northern Special on it. Again, I've not had to trim it down. The weight sinks it nicely. It's not quite as buoyant as the Proper Jobs one, but it's still got a lot of buoyancy to it. Again, you'll see exactly the same setup. Time to get the third and final rod out. That's the middle. That's got the orange one on. Again, it sinks nicely. Not as buoyant as the Proper Jobs one, but still it's got a decent amount of buoyancy to it. Again, exactly the same setup. We're going to go a little bit further out with this one. Not much further, because two guys opposite, like I said, they're boating to about halfway out in the lake. So I want to stay on my half and sort of try let the fish come up and down this edge without seeing too much line pressure. That is the plan. So this will look like I've just brought you back after putting those rods in and no time has lapsed. I can tell you, when I got round here and actually got the stuff in the swim, looking back on my phone at when I'd done the clip saying, right, we're in the swim, etc. I took you through the rigs, cast the rods out, it was 11:10. It's now 1:15. So for an hour and a half, those rods have been out there, and up to now, they've done nothing. Okay, I haven't filmed the rods, haven't even moved the stand yet, it's still there. For the moment I cast the third rod in, Frank walked round, or turned up I should say, the bailiff. He turned up, I was having a lengthy chat with him. And then literally as Frank went to walk away, another bloke turned up, and I've just had a lengthy chat with him. Someone who's looking to fish the lake. I don't think they've ever fished here before. Was asking some stuff, etc. And they've just sort of gone. So I thought, right, I better put you on the stand down there, move you down there and film the rods. Just looked at the time and like, wow. So yeah, to the viewer request, you've had an hour and a half fishing already. Nothing has happened. It's 1:45. I'm going to give it till 2 o'clock because I do want a couple of hours on that long lake today before I go home. So you'll have had 2.5, 2 3/4 hours. So let's hope something happens, because up to now we're an hour and a half in that you don't realise we are, and nothing's happened. Before I put the stand there and start filming the rods, the middle rod, I am actually going to bring it in and I'm going to whack it out to the middle of the lake. Okay, the two lads that was over there, they was here about 45 minutes an hour. They packed up and they moved. They didn't get anything. So I'm just going to throw a single out in the middle. The right hand rod, that's still down there where you see it. The left hand one, that's still there where you see it. Instead of the middle one being really close in and slackened off, what, you know, let's put one out, you know. If it cuts the left hand rod off, it could pick us a fish up. But for now, I'm going to put you on the stand. But we are actually going to watch the rods. And we'll see what happens for the remaining time I've got. this is the best angle I can get you at, so you can see all 3 rods and the battle if we're lucky enough to catch one. I have actually moved the middle rod since that last clip. Before I've put you on the stand here watching them, I've recast it and I've thrown it at least halfway out, maybe slightly over halfway. I'm not in anyone's water, there's nobody there at all, but the reason I've done that is because I can fish that line fairly tight and keep it out of the lake sort of section in front of me here where I'm fishing the right and left rod. So I'm fishing over the fish, if that makes sense. The line doesn't actually go through the water for them to come in contact with, because it's fished quite high tips and it doesn't enter the water till about 1/3 of the way out. So that's the reason I've done that. I'm going to leave the rods where they are, because like I say, it's bright singles, that's what the viewer request is. I don't think changing them around and swapping colours from different spots etc makes any difference. I mean, if the fish are here, I'm fishing in a small section of the lake, you know, it's just whether they go down and pick it up, you know. The rig works. It's not my favourite rig, but it's a go-to rig. A lot of people like it, don't they? So I've tried hinges in here and I've really cut my catch rate down when I did that, but up to now, like I say, we're about an hour and a half into this, you don't even realise we are, and nothing's happened at all. So I'm not too confident. I've got to be honest with you, so I do apologise in advance if this is a blank, but the lake's so busy, it's unreal. I've never seen the complex so busy for this time of the year. People are just getting out and enjoying this weather. But it looks like the chap opposite me, he's just had a bite, so that's reassuring. He's playing a fish now, so come on, fingers crossed we get something. But I'll leave you watching these rods. Well, I've brought you back for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it's going to be me saying to you lot, thank you for the support you give the channel in whatever way you are supporting me. All your subscribers, you're supporting me in the strongest way possible, so thank you very much if you're doing that. If you're not, or you're new to the channel, have a look and consider it. It doesn't cost you any money and you're not tied to any contract. All you lot that regularly view, comment, like, share the videos, you're helping the channel grow and keeping me in the algorithm band, so thank you as well. And you lot that are now hyping the videos, you're helping a lot more people discover me, and as a result the channel's grown because of that. So if you are hyping the videos, again, thank you very much, that really is helping. If you don't know how to do that, you select the top comment below the video, slide it to the left, and you get an option saying hype this video. You just press it and you're done. You get 3 a week. They don't cost you any money, so if you choose to use them on me, thank you very much. It really is appreciated. But also don't forget the other people you support as well, so share them around if you want to as well. That's the first point. The second point, I want to show you the time. We're well over 20 minutes on from the last clip, and yeah, nothing has happened, you know. So I reckon we're roughly an hour and 50 minutes into this with nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. So although I've not filmed the first sort of hour, I don't know, hour and a quarter of it, whatever it was, you haven't missed anything, because the exact same has happened since I've started filming the rods. Nothing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it another 5 minutes, which I don't think anything will happen. And after that, I'm going to wind all the rods in. I'm going to nip back to the van. I'm going to tie 3 PVA bags of crumb up that I've got left over from the video before this. And we're going to hook a bag of crumb on each rod and throw them back out in the same spots, same colour hook baits where they've been fished up to now for, I reckon, near on 2 hours with no result, and see if putting a bag of crumb on it makes any difference. You know, my dad said loads of times, it's that bloody bag you hook on, that's why you catch, it's because you're hooking that bag on, it's not the bait, it's that bag. Don't know, could well be right, we're going to find out, because like I say, I'm going to give it 5 minutes, I'm going to get those rods in, nip back, tie some bags up, come back, show you them, hook them on, cast them in, and we're going to give it till 2 o'clock and see if that makes any difference, because I genuinely think if we stay fishing the way we're fishing now till 2 o'clock, nothing is going to happen. Could be that the fish aren't here, or it could just be that they're sussing that single bright bait popped up off the floor out, you know. So if I sort of cover it up with a bag a bit and make it a bit less off the floor, if that makes sense, that could be the winning method. But yeah, it's not going to happen the way we're fishing. So I'm going to get those rods wound in and get some bags tied up, and we'll see if we can get a bite on the video before the time's out. Not that I need to show you, but I will. There's the pink, there's the orange, there's the yellow, there's the gauge thing, and I still don't think I've got this bloody thing right. That says it's 12.2 right in this edge here. Can't see that. It says it's 10.1 degrees outside and 12.1 in the water. I don't know, who knows. Anyway, I'm going to head back to the van, tie some bags up, and I'll come back when we're ready to cast back in. So I'm just heading back to the swim now. You'll see I've tied 3 bags. None of them are the same size. There's no reason for that. It's just how they've come out, you know. I don't really think it matters too much. But I'm going to hook a PVA stick on each one. I'm not going to slide it down because it's a Ronnie. It won't tangle. So I'm just going to hook it on, put them back on the same spots. Although the middle rod, I've only just moved to the middle, I am actually going to keep it fished out in the middle of the lake. I'm going to keep the left-hand rod where it's been the whole time, which is down here. The right-hand one has been down there, but the middle rod, it is going to go back out in the centre of the lake, just to cover another area, you know. Like I say, this video should be done. The time is up. Nothing's happened at all. It's a very empty video if that was the case. And it would be an upload, but a pointless one. So I'm trying to sort of salvage it. I've wrote off single bright Ronnies. I've wrote that off from this video already, that they're not really that productive in this particular venue. And I'm trying to sort of just salvage a bite on the video by seeing if a PVA bag can make a difference. Or a PVA stick, I should say. So, yeah, let's get them hooked on and get them back out there. So that's those all back out there again, back on the same spots. 13:25, so we've got 35 minutes to see if that makes a difference. So it's got a quarter of the time, pretty much, that the singles on their own had to get a bite from the same spots, fished with the same hook baits on the same rigs. The only difference is now there is a stick as attraction around it. So let's see if it really does play that big a part in getting a bite. Well, I've took you back off the stand again because I don't really know what to make of it. I'm looking around the lake and I've got to be honest, it ain't like it's just me that ain't catching. The bloke opposite me, I've seen him have one in the time I've been in here, which, like I say, I've been in here probably 2.5 hours all in all now, maybe slightly longer with getting set up and messing around. I've seen him have 1 bite. I haven't seen the 2 blokes on the concrete bank. There's 1 person jumped in where I moved out of. Not seen him do much. The person I spoke to next door, he may have had 1, possibly. I don't know. Other than that, I haven't really seen a lot else happening on the lake. I've seen no fish showing either, which is surprising, especially with this weather. I mean, it's nowhere near as warm as it's meant to be. It's meant to be a lot milder today than it is. And like I say, tomorrow, I think it gives 16 degrees here tomorrow, which today it's meant to be 12 or 13. It's not that. I'm quite cold. The wind is sort of slowly trickling into this corner, but it's not a nice wind. It's quite cold still. You know, and this gauge, I don't think this bloody gauge thing, I've got it right. Because if we crouch down and have a look, it says 12.2 in, and then if I press out, it says it's 10 degrees outside of the water and 12.2 in it. I can't. Oh, that might have been me, just caught that. I should imagine it was. Yeah. False alarm, we haven't got a bite. Yeah, I don't think that's right, because it feels bloody cold over here. So how can the water have warmed up? There's been no sun all day, look at it. It's been like this all day, overcast. There's been no sun, so how can the water that was reading 6.6, I think it ended up at 7.2 over there on the last video, and it's come up 5 degrees. I don't know. That thing, I'm going to stop bringing it. Wherever I go, I'm actually going to get rid of it, because all it does is mess my fishing up. You know, I don't think I get it right. I think I've got it sorted, and then I don't think I've got it sorted, and yeah, that bloody thing can go, because it's no good. I've never used to have one of these. I've never ever had one until this winter. I've always just decided I'm going, and that's it. Sod what the water is, I'm not bothered, I'm going. And that, you look at it and you think, I should catch something because it's reading that, or I'm not going to catch something because it's reading that. Sometimes you're best off not knowing, aren't you? But we're going to have a look at the time. What we're on? 25 to 2. So we've got 25 minutes left, or just under, for one of these to go off. I don't see it. If I'm honest, I don't see it. But I don't see it's the way we're fishing either that's the reason. I just think the lake's switched off. I said it on the last video when I sat there I had 2 bites really quick, and then it went like, well, it just died out. And I was just sitting there looking for it. It looks lifeless. And do you know what? Nothing's happened since then. Whether it's the amount of people on here today or I don't know, but we're going to see it out on here till 2 o'clock, and then I'm going to make one more video today, which will be, I don't know where it will be, to be honest, whether it's going to be in here or whether it's going to be on the long lake, I don't know. I've got some hook baits and some new paste to try, so I don't know, maybe in here, because nothing's happening in here. So if that works in here, then that's got to be a good sign. But for now, I'm going to put you back on the stand, and let's see what happens in the remaining amount of time I've got. Well, we're getting near the end of the session. We've literally got 5 minutes left. So since 8 o'clock this morning, that was roughly when I caught my last fish, about 8 o'clock, maybe slightly before that. The lake's just switched off. You know, I thought I was going to be on for a really productive day, get 2 or 3 really good vids out today, like plenty of fish on them. This one is going to be a blank, so I apologise now, because I've got 5 minutes left. I've been fishing about 2.5 hours and nothing's happened, so the chance of getting one in the last 5 minutes is next to bloody 0, but you never know. I'm still stumped what to do though for the next video, because I'm going to stay till about 5 tonight, so I've got time to do one more. But I'm a waste of my time being in this swim or on this lake. I don't know. I've got 5 minutes to make my decision, but if anything happens in the next 5 minutes, you'll know about it. If it doesn't, I'll bring you back for the old outro. You can probably guess what this clip is. It's me showing you. It's now 2 o'clock. So the PVA bag has made no bloody difference. So I'm going to get those rods wound in, do the old outro, and I've come up with what I'm doing on the next video, which I'll explain in a moment. I'm actually doing the old outro with the rods in again, just in the hopes something happens, but it's not going to. But you'll see by how I'm dressed, it's meant to be like really, really mild and warm. It's bloody freezing, but the wind is pushing down here now, and it's actually picking up in pace. So that could help with the next video, because I am going to stay in this peg for the beginning of the video. But as for this one, all I can say is thank you to the viewer for the request. Sorry there's been no fish and it's a blank, it's not worked out, but the addition I've added onto it, that's not worked out either. So it doesn't say yes or no either way, does it? The lake isn't fishing particularly well at all. Like I say, I think there's been a handful of fish out since I've been here, you know, so it's not like it's fishing really, really well and it's just this particular method's not working. It's nothing's working, but I don't really favour bright pop-ups in this lake. I've not done as well as what I have fishing bottom baits, so that could just be my own personal preference. I don't know what you lot think of it, but again, thanks for watching. Sorry there's no fish, and again to the viewer, thank you for the request. Hopefully you'll join me for the next video, because the first half of it is going to be in this peg, and let's see if it makes a difference with a different approach. But from me, again, if you're out on the bank yourself, I hope you've been a bit more lucky than I have on this one, and you'll join me to see how I get on with the next one. Don't forget the old thumbs up, subscribe, hype and all that business, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.